Barnes, and I am the chair of the Generous Life Team. The other Generous Life Team members are Heidi Kaufman, Barbara Williams, Scott Armstrong, and Mark Gentner. I also want to recognize Beth O'Connell, who is the former chair of the GLT, Kim Scott, John Grigsby, and Dennis McCulley, who have generously been consultants to this committee all year. Today marks the beginning of our annual pledge drive for the fiscal year beginning on July 1st. In the next few weeks, we will be encouraging each of you to pledge your financial support for our church for the next fiscal year. Our goal for the pledge drive this month is $260,000, which represents 90% of the $290,000 we need for the full year in pledges and donations. And as Jimmy mentioned, as you enter the church this morning, you'll see a pledge thermometer in the foyer. Every week as you come in, you'll be able to track the progress that we have made by looking at the thermometer. And as he also mentioned, we've already raised $87,526, or 33% of our goal for this month. And those of you who made those pledges, thank you very much. The theme for this year's campaign is Just Imagine. Rather than think about what it takes for our congregation to survive, we want each of you to imagine what it means for our church to thrive. And what you can do to help make this happen. You lose your place if you take your eyes off it. After several years of COVID and 2 years of not having a settled minister, we are at the doorstep of a new chapter in the life of this congregation. Already we are seeing remarkable growth in membership, which has grown by 23 new members in the last year. We're also seeing long-needed repairs and improvements to our buildings, ensuring that we have a facility that we all can be proud of. And after 2 years, it looks like we're about to install a new settled minister in July. With all of these recent improvements in place, we now turn our attention to our future. How exciting it is to think about not just surviving, but thriving as we build towards our future. There are new costs associated with this progress, and our proposed expense budget is approximately 16% higher than our current budget. Reaching the pledge amount is the key to our ability to thrive. The money each of us pledges largely pays for our new minister and our associate minister, our church administrator, our choir director, our music program, and our religious educators, as well as the cost of maintaining and improving our facility. Our financial support also makes possible our social justice efforts, bringing a critical progressive voice to the struggle for compassion, equality, and diversity in our broader community. During these times when we see so many of the gains that our country has made over the past decades being rolled back, our church can represent an important voice to promote social justice for all. I know that many, if not all of us, share a deep fear of what is happening in our country today, and it is more important than ever to stand up and fight for the values that Unitarian Universalism represents. Ultimately, how our congregation thrives and how we focus our resources in the future rests with each and every one of us. We are a pluralistic and diverse community. We encourage and welcome the voice of every church member. Today, after the service, we would like to invite everyone to join us in Dobkin Hall for food and mimosas. Have a few of those to make your pledge. Smart. When you get there, you will see on the monitor some questions we would like you to consider, asking for your ideas on what it means to thrive as a congregation. There are post-it pads and pens for you to record your ideas, and we ask that you then post them to the large white sheets of paper that are hanging on the walls, both in Dobkin Hall and in the hall leading to the sanctuary. Your ideas will then be gathered and shared with the congregation, our board, and our ministers. Each of you should have received a pledge letter in the mail by now. If you haven't, or if you need another copy, please stop by our table in the foyer for a new pledge form. Completed pledge forms may be dropped off at the table or the office, or it can be mailed. I would also direct you to our website where you can make a pledge online with the form provided there. You also have received a suggested fair share contribution guide, which is a resource recommended by the Unitarian Universalist Association. Please know that this guide is just a tool that may or may not be useful, depending on each of our resources. Not everyone is able to contribute at these levels, and others may choose to contribute far more than the suggested amount. However much you are able to give, both your financial support and future volunteer support are truly appreciated. In closing, I want everyone here and on Zoom to remember why they joined this congregation. For my wife Kim and myself, a strong Unitarian Universalist community in Wilmington was a significant factor in choosing to relocate here from upstate New York. We are building new friendships that we will treasure for the rest of our lives. People who share our progressive values and our commitment to the principles of Unitarian Universalism. We choose to pledge because we need this congregation. And we believe that now, more than ever, it is essential that we join our voices with others to stand up for what is right. I hope you feel the same way, and that you will join us in pledging generously for the future of our church. Thank you.